Join me as we talk all things true crime.
Made contact and shattered.
The missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and advised that the mother has went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her.
Chad, where are Lori's kids? They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say?
4 were stabbed multiple times and were likely asleep during the attack. Some had defensive wounds.
Most of them had just like one that was the lethal stab wound.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Once I told a lie, and I told my family, I had to keep lying.
What's your, is it deemed?
We haven't cleared anybody.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for being here. How's this sound? Sound good for everybody? So this is our hangout night. We missed it last Saturday because we've been down this Nancy Guthrie rabbit hole and following it very closely. However, there's no new news, unfortunately, since our stream last night. If you want the most recent updates, definitely check out last night's stream or check out my community post today, which talks about how they are doing another canvas search. We don't know if it's federal agents or local law enforcement. And then the local community wanted to do their own search. And apparently the sheriff has told them that they need a permit to do so. So besides the Epstein files that I've been going through, the Nancy Guthrie case has mentally exhausted me. And I honestly needed this kind of decompression and hangout night with you guys for my own mental health. Again, we've been digging into this 9-hour live stream for months now because the level of ridiculousness that is in this 9 hours is off the chains. And it's taken us this long to kind of get through it. So I want to give the whole situation a fair review, a fair interpretation. When I research something, I don't do it half-assed. I don't follow someone else's coverage on it and form my own opinion on it. Like, I dig into it myself. So that's why we are doing this. That's why we are continuing to dig into this. And hello, Carolina, Angel Eyes, Adrian, CH, good to see you. Oh, right. So the sheriff has backpedaled about the permit. He said he told them they needed permission to go on private property. And you know what? How many times, and thank you for that. How many times, another example, that's another example. In the Nancy Guthrie case, have they come out, said something, and then been like, well, they take it back, or they say something that contradicts something that they had just said, right? It's like, just do a public press conference again. Stop updating people on social media. So what we have come to the conclusion on with this whole Lauren Matthias situation thus far is, so far we've seen nothing but lies, exaggerations, lumping the victim, in my opinion, in this situation, Christina, who she has named her stalker, lumping her into the actions that other people were doing, which weren't even harassing or stalking anyways. It's very much smoke and mirrors with Lauren Matthias, just as much as it's smoke and mirrors in the Nancy Guthrie case right now. This whole 9-hour stream, this whole look right here of, I'm going to look into the camera and be so serious and they'll believe me. Unfortunately, and hello, Felicia, and everyone else who's here. It's good to see you. Unfortunately, her followers have fallen hook, line, and sinker for this. And I wonder how many are starting to see more and more how fake her and John are. Like their Valentine's Day post. Did you guys see that? It's like, we heard the audio that Christina shared of you complaining about your marriage. Unfortunately. So they're just so fake. I cannot stand fake people. And I might go off tonight just because I'm so freaking stressed with everything else that's going on in the true crime community, with the lack of information in the Guthrie case and the disturbing material that has come out publicly with the Epstein files. Like, this is your guys' warning. Like, if you don't want to hear a petty stream, like, you might want to tap out now, because it's going to be probably petty at some points. Despite all the hidden true crime lies, they just gained another 1,000 subscribers. It's mind-boggling. I'm telling you, they're paying to promote their channel, and you can set it to where the paid promotion gains you subscribers, or you could set it to where the paid promotion gains you views. Like, I don't think that they're gaining subscribers or views without promoting. And it's a thing that YouTube has allowed creators to do, and it's fair game. But I honestly don't think that they would gain 1,000 subscribers if they weren't paying to promote it. So you blocked their channel, Turkey. I've done that too, like, not with her channel, but I've definitely been so annoyed with certain people that I just, like, I do that option where it's like, stop suggesting this to me, because it's just BS. Oh, I hope you feel better. Yeah, who else has a storm coming? There's storms coming for a lot of people, so everyone get comfortable, promoted, blended with bought, in my opinion. Yes, absolutely. And the thing about promoting is, like, it's reaching more people in the algorithm, and those people haven't seen this 9-hour stream. So I think that, honestly, going through the 9-hour stream is beneficial, because maybe other people who have recently subscribed to her will be like, wait, what's this? I just subbed to her because of this case that she's covering. Oh, let's see what this is. You know what I mean? Like, if they stumble upon, like, myself or Hella, they might see this shenanigans. And hello, EE Caroline. You blocked a bunch of people. Isn't the block button great? I love it. On Facebook, all that. It's great for your mental health. So yes, let's get through this. Yeah, they're like, oh, pay. Absolutely. Because they are not, I guarantee it, I would put money on it, they are not organically gaining and naturally gaining subscribers without paying to promote. Hi, Christine. So yes, tonight is just our hangout night. If you want true crime, you'll have to see the channel other nights of the week. Visit the video section, the shorts section, even my community posts for that.
Probably play that video later.
So we're only a little over 2.5 hours in here.
Because I want to point out a few more things about it, and watching it for the first time might be confusing. It seems, as you hear, I keep repeating, what did I do? I didn't do anything. And they keep saying that I sent their friend a cease and desist. And I say, it had nothing to do with you. I don't know what this is about. We're in a professional setting. They came up. You see, actually, Janice filming in the background at one point. I don't understand. You guys don't understand? I don't understand.
I love it how she says, you guys don't understand? I don't understand. That gives us a little bit of a clue of what her chat was saying, I think. Because remember, they have edited this since it's been live. And once you edit a stream, the live chat that goes with it is no longer, like, able to be referenced. So she just said, like, you guys don't understand it? I don't understand it. So I'm wondering if, like, I never watched this live. I'm wondering if her chat was like, wait, what? And what would it matter if Janice was recording? Like, the way that she throws things in to, like, demonize and be like, look at what they were doing. It's sick. I honestly can't believe she wanted to make it this big and bad. I know, you should have just walked away. We have seen some of the messages and stuff that I think she was afraid of come out, but I don't think that we've seen, like, everything. I don't think we've seen the worst of the worst.
I want these people to leave me alone.
Then you probably shouldn't have done this 9-hour stream, and you probably shouldn't have attacked Christina by calling her a stalker. Like, you owe Christina an apology, and you should probably clear her name. Like, you pretty much should do a whole 9-hour stream to retract everything you said here.
I want to be able to report at trials and have things be normal and mature. And I will say this.
And what's crazy is, like, she wants to just carry on with her life. Like, okay, so you want to give people cease and desist, but then you want to be able to walk up to them at the trials and ask to sit next to them. And then now you're begging for normalcy. Like, the irony, because this whole situation, she's had just showed us in the last stream that we did of this like 2 weeks ago, maybe more than that at this point, was when they were at dinner and her and Grayson were sloppy drunk, and they were approached and basically asked, like, why did you give so-and-so a cease and desist? And then, like, you had the audacity to ask to sit next to him. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Like that, like, and that's nothing wrong with asking somebody and confronting somebody and being like, why did you do that? And they couldn't handle it.
I was a broadcast reporter for 10 years before I was a YouTuber. I would go on location everywhere. I have never experienced this. I don't know why they keep coming up to me, why they are filming me, why they are harassing me. I will point this out too. Grayson asked me to make this clear when she was talking about something. She and my ex-producer, Lindsay, did used to work together. So there is a previous situation with them. It has nothing to do with me. So there's that. The true crime world is small. So
the true crime world is small, right? And that's why this whole 9-hour stream needs to be exposed. Because the way that you milked the victims in the Daybell case, the family that you got so close to, she was milking everything she could get from them. The way that you treated that family and then put a copyright strike on the family's YouTube channel when they tried to come out and share their side of it, shameful. Absolutely shameful. And the true crime community needs to be reminded of that any chance we can give them that, in my opinion. Oh, I know. I just saw, hey, Sleepless. I just saw the banner for the membership, 3 months. Thank you so much, Michelle. You're awesome. You guys are all awesome. And hi, Rosie. Agreed, Amber. She does with others. Yes. And everything that we've seen her, like, remember, she bad-mouthed Nate Eaton. She bad-mouthed Nancy Grace. She bad-mouthed, she created an anonymous account just to troll and, like, criticize Nate Eaton in a Facebook group. It's like, and then for her to sit here on this, like, pedestal, like, I did nothing wrong. It's like, the truth always comes to light. This is outside of, like, the seriousness of it, but I think since this video, she's gotten Botox in her neck. Have you guys noticed it? It's a little bit different. Oh yeah, Andrea Burkhart. Geez, G. The list goes, law and crime. Law and crime. Oh my gosh, she has burned so many bridges. That's why she's clinging so tightly to Vinnie Politan. Please, Vinnie, will you come on my channel and talk about the Guthrie case? That was like, that whole conversation of the Guthrie case between her and Vinnie Politan, I was like, this is cringe. Hi, Allie. Glad you're here. I shared your stream that you just did on the missing child, just to get the story out there. I know true crime right now is really everything you're seeing is just Nancy Guthrie. And obviously that is an important case to kind of highlight, but there's so many other missing people that need spotlight. So I hope that sharing that helps. Yes, my name is Amber. My channel used to be called Amber Truth Seeker. And then I just was like, I don't really like, I don't know. It was too long. So I abbreviated it. And now everybody's like, what is ats news? I'm like, never mind.
Oh, you know, so it was all of them. Said her name again. Again, I just want to point out.
I think so, Carolina. I think so. And again, I noticed that Julie from Court TV also gets Botox in her neck. You can just tell. You know, she's like probably in her late 40s. And again, I'm not saying that I would never do it. I've just noticed that I think since this video, Lauren has like, she's really tried to rebrand herself with, and in doing so, she's changed her looks drastically. Although I did see a recent picture of her and she has kind of gone back to the McDonald arched eyebrows. So I don't know. Old habits die hard. In my opinion, Vinny is not all he thinks he is. They are cut from the same cloth. Dun-dun-dun. I could not agree more, Allison. I really I liked him at first, and people are going to be like, I love Vinny. Trust me. I liked him for a while too. But after he platformed her on Court TV, you will never convince me he had no idea all this stuff happened. You'll never convince me. My husband, before I started the stream, I had her video pulled up. He's like, what's wrong with her face? It's like, I feel the same way when I see Hollywood people, and I'm like, you were just so much better looking before you thought that you needed to do all this. And a lot of it, I think, is the doctors pressuring people who are insecure and being like, oh, you came in for Botox. Well, I really think that you should try to put some here, or do a little tucking here, or you know what I mean? And they prey on insecure people like Lauren, who are like, oh, you know, they feel the pressure. Like, yeah, you're right. You think she had a nut lift? Really? I thought that they could do Botox in the neck, like on the lines. Yeah, like if you Google Botox in the neck, it says it's a non-surgical 15-minute procedure that relaxes neck muscles to smooth vertical bands. It reduces horizontal lines and contours the jawline. The results appear in 3 to 7 days, and it lasts 3 to 6 months, and it costs about $300 to $1,000. But yes, yeah, because I had seen people doing it. And they pretty much put the Botox in the wrinkles of your neck. It says how it works. Botox is injected into the platysma muscle, reducing tension that causes neck skin to sag and bands to protrude. So I don't know if this is like a new thing, but it's something that I'm hearing people do. And according to Google, like it's new. It's out there. I think that that's what she did. And she had made comments. She had made comments, I think in a Patreon like a while ago, about her having a coughing fit and always coughing. And she said something herself about like looking for like Botox to like help it in her neck or something. Yeah, I don't know. Like I was stunned too when I heard about it. But because of the way Julie's neck is on Court TV, I was like, because it's one of the things that women are very insecure about. It's one of the areas that really kind of show your age. Like people say like, oh, don't just put skincare on your face. Like you need it on your neck. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm just saying it's something I noticed. And then she was wearing like scarves and stuff like that in pictures and stuff. Right. The filler can get migrated. Yeah, I would not. I don't think I'll ever mess with filler. I'll never say never to Botox, but I'm wearing my frownies right now. You guys know I stand by frownies and I stand by bee venom. It's better than Botox. It literally, it'll freeze it. Yes, she's been hiding her neck. If you look in pictures like of her thumbnails and like videos and stuff, and again, I understand it's an insecure subject for some people. You know what I mean? Yep, Botox is great. Filler can be scary. And I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I can't believe it that she got that. But to me, it was noteworthy because she mentioned how she had been coughing a lot and was like looking to get insurance to like cover Botox in the neck or something. Don't quote me verbatim, but she had said that. The bee venom I get off of a website called Wildflower Apothecary. I can't even pronounce it. I will put it in the chat. I've recommended it before to you guys. It's all natural. It's extracted from bees in an ethical manner. It doesn't kill the bees. It doesn't harm the bees. It's just like a topical roll-on. Let me put it in chat right now. And I love it. Like when I'm not wearing my frownies, I put the bee venom on. The bee venom, they have lip gloss that plump it, yes. And then they have it that you can rub on like topical. And it basically like stimulates your skin cells, like as if, when you get stung, it swells. Well, this doesn't have the stinger, but it still kind of swells your skin on like a small level and it plumps it. So like the lines in your forehead become like temporarily like filled in, basically. It plumps it up. Frownies are, I'll put that in the chat too. Frownies are like, have you ever heard of facial tape, stuff like that people use? But frownies have been around for a while. Like it used to be like a whole old Hollywood secret that they used to wear. It's called the Original Wrinkle Patch. And you put it on at night because, believe it or not, we get a lot of our creases and wrinkles just from sleeping. So this kind of creates, oh no, the link for the Frownies website is too large for the chat. So you just go to frownies.com, guys. And it pretty much creates a cast for your forehead so that it keeps it in place. And then in the morning, you pull the cast off and it smooths it out. And over time, it retrains your muscles in your forehead so that they don't even create the old lines that they used to. I'm telling you, I've been using them for years. I'm 37 years old, never had Botox. My forehead is smooth just from Frownies. And my aunts who are in their late 50s, they love Frownies too. Yeah, so I highly recommend Frownies and the bee venom for sure. Since we're on the topic of her treatments, because a lot of people mention her face and stuff. Let's be honest.
She makes her name very, very public. It is my choice to not share her name. I don't want to share her name. If I do, I'm sorry. Please don't do anything to her, please. I would like to refer to her as my stalker at this time. If I make a mistake, please ignore it. But she does make her name very clear and well known publicly. So I turned on my camera for safety, and shortly after that, Lori and Sarah came up to my dinner table confronting me. Janice continued to film the confrontation from outside the restaurant. The waiter came over as Lori walked away,
Christina.
while Sarah continued her confrontation.
Everybody welcome Christina. Again, Christina, I'm so sorry that this woman has trashed you and dragged you for no reason at all. But I'm very happy that you've kind of been able to without even having to create your own 9-hour live stream, people have seen the truth in this situation. And you have so much support and like good energy from all of us pushed to you that I hope that like you feel it, as weird as that sounds. Do you know what I mean though? Like, cause imagine being dragged for 9 hours by this woman with the platform that she has. Like if we take all the joking aside about how ridiculous this situation is, like when we get to the core of like the behavior, it's absolutely disgusting. The way that this woman's integrity is so lacking. I can't even believe it, like truly. And I hope that I'm glad that you can feel the good energy, because everyone is just like in disbelief. And unfortunately, she'll never be able to take this stream down, because that would be admitting that she did wrong. So this is, up. And I also think that that's why people like me and Hella and Jolene and Dream Feed Media, other channels, it's like we just want to kind of get the truth out there, or get it so that the cloud and fog is kind of more clear and pushed aside, because this whole 9-hour stream is just smoke and mirrors. And yeah, everyone is just very sorry that this happened to you. And then for other people to kind of jump on in support of Lauren, like shame on all you guys too.
And again, yeah, the cease and desist has nothing to do with them in at all. Interestingly enough, in Lindsay's declaration to this response, she said that she believed the cease and desist was given to her because I was friends with the stalker. It's very confusing that because Lindsay was friends with the stalker. It's very confusing to me. The cease and desist has nothing to do with any of them. I've received cease and desist from Pinterest.
Who I've received cease and desist. Who in chat has received a cease and desist? Like, is it just me to totally not relate to this? Like, I don't think that's like a normal thing. I don't know. Like, I don't even think I know anybody who's received a cease and desist. That's so true, Jessica. At least she showed her ass by doing this. She dug her hole real deep. And that's a figure of speech, hidden true crime. Right, hidden true slime. Yeah, exactly. I've received cease and desist, the way she's like trying to normalize it. Like, why did you get a cease and desist? Why don't you elaborate a little bit more about that? But instead, she'll just grace over it.
True crime, by the way, I want you to know that. Like, I get them and I go, okay, check. I received one a few months ago from a family of a case.
What is this white thing on her lip? I just kind of noticed it as she's talking.
I've been talking about. They asked me to stop
Ew,
talking about something particular.
She just licked it off. Oh, what was that?
I was like, okay, I've stopped.
Okay, I've stopped. Anyways, yeah, I know. I want to hear more about that. What did you stop? What were you doing that they asked you to stop about? No, let's just grace over it.
Anyway, this is a really big deal. I kept saying, what did I do? What did I do? And they're like, you sent our friend a cease and desist. I still don't know what I've done. I just know that I can't go to trials in peace, and that I'm getting threats about my livelihood, and that allegedly journalists and the true crime community hate me, and they know what I've done. I don't know what
Okay, well, journalists and the true crime community hate me. People just don't hate people. And again, I don't hate her. I just am like disgusted by her. And I think that, like I said earlier, watching this whole 9 hours, like, is going to help me form the best opinion. And everything that I've seen thus far has been nothing but lies.
I've done. I still don't know what I've done.
She still doesn't know what she's done, but yet we know based off of the body cams and stuff, she was scrambling, looking at old messages, having Grayson look at the old messages, like trying to figure out like which bad messages did I send that people know about. So it's like you're on your channel lying to everybody, acting like you don't know what you've done. But then we find out through these body cams that got released, specifically the one June 19th, the first one. And we know that like Grayson and you were like scounging, like going through everything to be like, was it this that I said? Was it that I said? Like, so many bad things that you had done that you couldn't figure it out, like which one was going to come out. And here she is just lying. Yeah, there's so many, and so many have come to the surface, but not all of it. Not all of it, unfortunately. And I still don't understand why there was rumors that you had cheated on John, that you felt like you needed to like talk about and debunk. And you still haven't debunked them, really, because you said he was friends with John. So people have affairs with people that their husband knew all the time and was friends with all the time. And based off of everything else that I've seen this woman do that is just ethically like immoral, like I would not put anything past her. And oh my gosh, this was hilarious. Did you guys watch Hella's latest live stream she did the other day? She pulled up like the Patreon date night between her and John. And they're like, we have some news to share, but we're not ready to share it. And then she jokingly was like, I'm pregnant. And then they like laughed about it. And then John was like, oh, I'd be so happy. And she'd be like, I wouldn't, I would cry. And then he'd like, and it's like, that just screams like volumes to me. Like the fact that he was saying how happy he would be about it. And then she was basically saying the exact opposite, like got serious as a heart attack and was like, I would cry. And then she said, that train has sailed. And somebody in Hella's chat was like, since when do trains sail? It was a racket. You guys should check that out if you haven't. No, really, she has mommy issues, Grayson. She wanted Lori to be like her mommy before she met Lauren. Interesting. The Patreon date night. Yeah. Andrea, Hella, you can go to her channel, Excited Utterance, and watch it from there so that you don't have to pay to watch their date night. Yeah, that's how married women cheat. They keep their husbands and lovers really close. I mean, how many Lifetime movies have you seen where it's like, my husband's best friend? You know what I mean? Like, so for her only excuse to say that it didn't happen was because John's friends with the guy that she was accused of sleeping with, which I never even seen rumors. That's what's so funny is like, we didn't know anything until she brought it to us. We didn't know that there was rumors you cheated on your husband. Like, yes, we could tell that you guys had no chemistry just from your channel, but the fact that she brought it up to our attention, now we all are honed in on like their body language or lack thereof with each other, right? Their lack of affection, they don't respect each other. They're constantly talking over each other, or you can just see like the disdain in both of their faces, like at each other's opinions and stuff, like as they're talking. That's my opinion.
My opinion!
Stalker's declaration states that I've tried to hurt people's businesses. She's seen evidence of that. Doesn't post any evidence. I haven't. All right. So,
and speaking of opinions, there's something off about Grayson. I don't know what it is. I don't want to speculate on what it could be, but there's something, I don't know. I think that a lot of Lauren's problems have stemmed from Grayson's way of like handling the situation with her, and them like feeding each other like the fuel to things, and the alcohol of both of them drinking together.
After, I want to point out one other thing that's said in there. It's really important, and we'll play it again later, but I want to point out this really important thing. Lori states in that video,
Jennifer,
stop acting.
And I was like, oh, maybe he let himself go like after they got married, you know, and she loves him, you know, like these things happen. Or maybe he couldn't work out anymore because of an injury. No, not from the engagement video I saw. And I don't know. Again, like I said, this is going to be a petty stream. So any other night of the week, I'm here for true crime and for serious talk. But yeah, Saturday is our petty stream. I may have hinted to the cheating in my email to John. But where did that stem from, Felicia? Was it just like an idea, like hunch you guys had? Or was it like something had happened where it was like, whoa, what the heck was that about? It was hilarious how much she divulged in the name of debunking. Yeah, that no one knew outside of those involved. Her self-importance is delusional. Agree. And oh my gosh, in the Patreon date night, they were talking about the Nancy Guthrie case briefly, and John was like, you know, the suspect on the Nest camera and the swagger of him walking. It was like, I don't think swagger means what you think it means, John. And since you have zero swagger, like, I guess I understand why you're misusing the word.
Like nothing is wrong. Stop acting like nothing is wrong. And I say that because later on in other places, including the declarations, they claim that I'm harassing them. Yet I'm
assuming that's the guy who they're saying that she cheated with. I would love for somebody to ask him. And again, even if he denies it, I would love to just hear like his response, because sometimes people lie and you can hear it in a response. So I don't know. I have never heard of anyone actually asking. I barely knew she existed. Never watched her. Was one of those channels I just never got around to watching. Well, I hope you don't ever go there now. Really? She talks about being medicated and in therapy, and she is still so, quote, off. Yeah. I would be backing away from Grayson. 100%. There's proof, and I'm not at liberty to share. It's someone else's to share. I mean, you don't bring it up and then be like, it's not true. Like, why, if it wasn't true, why would you even mention it? Hey, Lindsay, good to see you. Can we see a pic of him? I don't have a pic. Is he on Google? Like, could I Google him? Brandon Hobbs. Oh man, I don't know. Seems like there's a few of them on Google.
I'm sitting there saying, don't give them air. Gray rock them. Don't talk about this. You've never seen me do a live. You guys had no idea this was even happening.
Grayson is her producer, her editor, her wing person, basically.
And they're even saying, stop acting like nothing's wrong. I haven't done anything. Like, I think that's really telling. I haven't done anything. They're like almost angry that I haven't reacted at all, that I'm living my life, that I won't do anything. So, do we want to show how the stalker?
And it's like,
let's see. Okay.
You brought it to YouTube. You brought the affair allegations to YouTube. So here we are talking about it. And you still have this stream up where you're referencing an alleged affair and how it's not true. So now, of course, like anything, there's going to be those who believe you, and then there's going to be those who don't. And then there's going to be those like me who I don't know what to think. And I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibilities. So that's what I'll leave it at. And based off of what she had stated about her marriage in audio that got shared with us, that speaks for itself.
After leaving, okay, no, this is important. So the waiter comes over and Lori walks away while Sarah continues her confrontation. After they leave the restaurant,
right.
where it turns out we were all eating, unbeknownst to us, we never went inside the restaurant. We never saw that they were there. After leaving the restaurant, they walked to the restaurant across the street and sat there. What it seemed like was them waiting for us to leave the restaurant we were eating at. And I was very uncomfortable because of all the consistent confrontations from this group. I was worried why they were sitting across the street. Were they waiting for me to get up? Were they going to film us again? I was very concerned about Grayson. She was very upset. Grayson is young. I'm very maternal with Grayson. We called John. We told him what happened. He goes, you know what? Why don't you just call police to escort you to your vehicle?
Yes. Get John on the phone because he's got the answer to everything. He probably was like, hold on, honey. I got a book on what to do. Hold on. I'm looking through my pages. Yes, right here. Yeah. Why don't you bother law enforcement who are there for emergency situations and for serious situations and, bother them and have them escort you.
And that's what I did. As they were leaving the restaurant, they walked across the street, and both myself, we were in fear for our safety, and eventually we called the police to help escort us to our vehicle. That is why.
But that's not what happened, right?
Is
she's talking about July when Grayson is wearing the Steve from Blue's Clues sweater, right? Like when they were drinking all those lemon drop martinis on the table and they were asked, why did you give somebody a cease and desist and then have the audacity to ask to sit next to them at the trial in the courthouse? That's what she's referring to, right? Because she didn't get an escort to the car. In fact, let me just pull that up right now. Actually, let's hear a little bit more of this. And thank you, Shirley, for the gifted memberships. Welcome to all the members. Congratulations on those who got one. Yes, exactly. She had positioned herself. This is another lie. She positioned herself at a table where she was able to watch them. And yet she's painting it the other way. Oh, good, Mindy. I'm so glad you got one. I have no use for men or women who have affairs. And again, I'm not saying it as a fact that she did. Take what you will from it. Great stream earlier on the Lindsay Clancy case, Melly. You and Allie have touched on it on your channels, and it's such a sad case, but it's so very complex. And I give YouTube props for bringing it to social media because I've already seen a shitstorm of comments on Facebook regarding the Lindsay Clancy case. It's a rough one. It's very complex. It's not black and white. So that was very interesting stream earlier. Thank you so much, Rosie. I appreciate that. Hi, Ruth Ann, and everyone else who joined. Remember how Lauren knew I was in Europe and then accused me of stalking her? I also heard that she, for some reason, is in Utah for some like Thrive convention or something. Since she has put that or done this whole thing, this was October, this video. Hasn't she visited the state that you live in like more than once at this point? It's like, but you were afraid that she was going to go to your state, even though she never had been like, what? Bizarre. And she's like, well, I have to cover so many cases out there, but she has to cover the Corey Richins one and had to go to Utah. So you're going to a state that more than once you have visited the state that your quote unquote stalker lives in, and you're in fear of your life. These are her words. I can't stay silent anymore. I'm in fear. I'm afraid for my life. But you're going to go to where she lives? I don't know if it's the Thrive MLM. I believe it's something, I don't know. I don't know if it's the MLM Thrive. I want to say it's something LDS related, but again, I could be totally wrong. Oh, she has to be there in person for everything. The victims need her, don't you know? Nothing makes sense. It's a past Mormon conference. Oh my gosh. But I thought that I can't keep up with her, Mindy. 1 minute she's talking about the church and being connected to it. The next minute she's like, let me join this group, and it's all people who used to be there, and I'm them now. It's like this woman has so many faces and identities. Like, who are you, really?
And then I have, it says, exhibit waiting. What? Oh, Ms. Trial says, I'm not trying to be funny, but Lauren, you need to try more profanity. Bullies choke on their own. I assume you meant receipts, not recipes.
Why would you want to approach her after you sent her a cease and desist?
I asked if I could sit.
I know, I told her there wasn't.
I was at a press conference.
So then she kept asking.
Sorry, guys. If you have a Mac laptop, you will understand. If you swipe the mouse pad even a little bit, it'll take you to a next page. So give me a second. I got to pull up that. Oh, here we go. She needs to try more profanities. Oh my gosh. Bullies choke on their own receipts. And have you guys noticed every single comment thus far in this 9-hour stream that she pulls up doesn't have like a face to the name? Like, it literally looks like a fake troll account. She attended the event that had to do with her deceased brother's music CD thing at Sundance Film Festival. Was that when she had like the Burberry scarf on? She's using religion to make herself seem like a better person. And she wants that community. Like, she's using like the community too. Everybody in the chat have been very kind to me so far. Good to see you, Anders.
You need to try more profanity. Bullies choke on their own. I assume you meant receipts, not recipes.
I totally agree. And it's very fake, right? It's very fake.
Oh, right. It's so funny. Well, you guys heard me at the beginning. Yeah. So I think actually, honestly, okay, I'll stop there.
Just don't explain what happened. Here's Tracy. Here am I. I had to sit in here because this is where it is. And now, after they had dinner, they're sitting across. We felt threatened. I told them we felt threatened.
They're right there. We blurred them.
And now, here they all are.
They blur people, but then they don't blur this. Oh, is that the woman that she's zooming in on? Okay, so that's who she's trying to like expose, quote unquote. Got it. Or no. She blurred the people that she's talking about, but the people in the forefront like are just victims to you like posting this on YouTube. Why?
Sitting across at a different restaurant getting those drinks. It's Lindsay. It's Lori.
And what part of this do you feel threatened about? Because somebody asked why you wanted to approach and sit next to somebody that you yeah, why are you blurring it? Because they're like afraid, like I don't even know. I can't try to make sense of their rationalizing and any of this. I did have a soda stream a long time ago, Jennifer. I liked it, but it got annoying, like the cleaning of it. It was just one of those things on my kitchen counter that I was like, I got over it. Like once it like ran out and you had to buy like refills of things. John DeLynn founded it, but is no longer involved with the board and decision making. They may have asked him for his opinion on speakers. He is speaking this weekend virtually. And John's vibe is very genuine. You know, like I watched him about the Jody Hildebrandt stuff. And immediately I was like, this guy is genuine. So when he had Lauren on, I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then you could just see the contrast of like personalities and energy in their interview. Like John, very, authentic. Lauren, not so much. Interesting. That's true. If you like carbonated water, like where you don't even have to like add the flavoring, then yeah, that would be, you might like the soda stream.
And they're looking, and I feel like we can't leave, and now we feel frightened. And one thing they said, we've been very drama-free all afternoon. We worked the same trial, and one thing they said as they approached our table is stop acting like nothing's wrong. We're just trying to be professional while we cover trials together.
Okay, what is this comment? Stop saying I don't know what I've done and start saying I haven't done anything. And assume you're right until you're told differently by the people you care about. Did John make this account? What an idiotic comment. Of course, Grayson's like, let me pull this one up. Oh my gosh. And assume you're right until you're told differently by the people you care about. Okay. Well, how about all of us are just going to point out her lies anyways, even though she doesn't care about any of us? You know what I mean? Like, we're just going to point out, we're going to fact check her. Sorry, WS. What a bizarre comment. Grayson's like, this is great. I'm going to pull this one up. John's like on his like alt account.
It's our waiter, and we asked him to get rid of them. And we now feel like we can't leave. And they're all sitting in there. I'm looking side.
So because somebody came up and said, why did you send a cease and desist and then ask to sit next to them? That's weird, basically, to sum it up in so many words. That's just what happened. They did not get up in your face. They did not say, stand up and talk to me outside like a real woman. No, they just simply asked you like why your actions don't match like the cease and desist action. And they're turning this into we don't feel safe to get up. You don't want to get up because you want to order another round of drinks.
And I don't want to look over because they're like waiting for us. And so I'm not leaving.
So,
oh my gosh, this has got to be John's other account. We have your back, Lauren. It's times like these that your impeccable reputation precedes you. Well, those words aged well. You have integrity and authenticity that is rare in this business. We have your back. What? There's no, I mean, unless these people are drinking like Hidden True Slime Kool-Aid, like these cannot be real people. Notice all the accounts also that she's pulled up. Not only do some of them like not have a face, and I'm going to include this one and the one that was prior not having a face, because the one prior to this was just a cartoon face. Did you guys notice that? It was just a cartoon, and this one is just a puppy. Like, these aren't real people. And none of them have the membership emblem next to it. Like, you know how, like, if I pull up Jennifer's name right here, for example, and it has the membership emblem, like, she's a real person. This is a real account. Like, she's a member of the channel. She supports. And so this person's like, we have your back. You have their back, but you're not a member? And then the person before that, like, all the comments, it's like, none of them came from members and none of them came from accounts that, like, have real people, like, faces. Shady. Hi, Dolly. Good to see you. Right. Good to see you, Dolly. Oh my gosh. These are fake.
So we're going to wait for the other stuff with your declaration, right? Mm.
And the way that she looks for Grayson's approval and direction is so pathetic. She's your producer, your assistant, your editor. Like, she works for you, but you're constantly, this is how so insecure I think Lauren is. She needs John and Grayson to, like, validate, like, what should I do? How should I think?
We could play it now. I mean, it is pretty emotionally charged and exactly what was going on at that moment.
Yeah, let's play it now. Let's play it now. Let's play it now. So there's another thing we're going to save it for Grayson's declaration because she talks about this, but this was the same moment. This is how you know how Grayson filmed me sort of during a really traumatic moment. I was just trying to collect evidence.
You know how Grayson filmed me in a very traumatic moment when I was wiping snot on the sheets?
And Grayson was really upset at this moment. Us, like, just seeing the writing on the wall, like, we can't even go to trials anymore. Like what is going on? And so I recorded this moment. If you have it and you're gonna play it.
Poor people get hurt. Like, you don't respond. Literally, poor people get hurt. Like, you don't respond.
Where are they?
They're literally across the street from us waiting on us to leave this restaurant.
They're literally across the street waiting on us to leave this restaurant. How the heck are you coming to the conclusion that they're waiting on you to leave? The delusions. Admit it, you don't want to leave. You want more bread brought to the table. And you want more drinks brought to the table. Right, this is so scripted. Like, and yet her chat and her supporters like, oh my gosh, they are waiting on her. Where are you coming to the conclusion that of people who are just eating dinner across the way that they're waiting on you? Oh my gosh. Like, it's just the narrative that they're trying to spin in front of their camera. Clearly. She's like, I'm going to press record in 3 seconds, Grayson. So I need you to bring on the tears and act terrified. 3, 2, 1. Action. Yeah, she's wasted. It's pathetic. And that's the thing too, is like I said when we broke down the body cam that happens with this night, that they both got liquid courage to call the cops. You know, like John was like, call the cops and have them escort you. But really, you know, they knew that it wasn't what they were portraying it as. Like, we're in fear. And he says, call the cops and have them escort you. They knew that they weren't really in fear, but they're like, oh, yeah, let me just finish my drink first and then I'll call the cops.
3 of them left, which means, and the only ones left are Lori, Denise, and Lindsay, which means the 3 of them are waiting to confront.
Knows exactly how many people have left, who are left there. Grayson has fancy nails. Green. Why do you have green nail polish? It's not St. Patrick's Day. What's going on?
So the 3 that have always confronted us.
They're all waiting. What's next?
By the way, being confronted by people is not illegal.
Physically assault me? Because I don't.
What's next? Are we going to get physically assaulted? Why would you think that they care enough to really go to jail assaulting you guys? When she said that, Lauren was thinking, oh, that's good. Yeah, I got that one on camera. I just can't even believe this. They should, Grayson, you should be so embarrassed.
Respond to them?
She's like looking at Lauren like, is that good enough? Or you want me to keep going? Seriously, Lori told you I am not talking to you, Grayson. They don't want you to respond. We know this. We're in this is how people get murdered. Right. Oh my gosh. I think it could be a little bit of both, Jennifer. I don't know. Yeah, you haven't figured. It's hard. It's like you get a headache too trying to figure them out. So we're at an hour. We usually only like to go like an hour and a half because we just can't even take Lauren that long. Like, I don't know how John lives with her, although I guess they don't spend much time together. Unless they need to record a Patreon date night to prove that they're in love.
So I'm literally at dinner, enjoying a dinner, and they're coming up to me and making me feel unsafe when I'm not doing anything. And
oh, don't act like this spoiled your dinner. You licked the plate clean.
I'm telling them to leave me alone. Like, I'm not even like doing anything. It would be one thing if I.
John is busy raising their one child that, what's her name? Can't even remember her name. Oh my gosh, literally have like a brain fart right now thinking of her name. That Lauren complained that was the neediest toddler she'd ever known. That's her words in a text message that got revealed. He is the neediest toddler I've ever known.
Going up to them. But guess what? I stay away. All they do, everyone in public, is film me.
No, I know. They film you ever. We just do our work.
So what? Because we didn't answer the filmings, now they confront us? What's next? This is when people get murdered.
Shame on you trying to compare this to situations where people are getting murdered. What world are you living in?
We see this.
She acts like they're like homicide detectives. We see this.
By the way, Grayson originally said, please, please, please do not ever show those videos. But because I showed the one at the beginning of this live, she decided to take one for the team and let me show that.
Right. Like we're supposed to believe that you guys never wanted the. Why were you recording? Oh my gosh. By the way, Grayson said, please don't show those videos. Right. How come she didn't say that on the video when she was recording? How come she didn't say there, like, please don't show anyone this, or please stop recording? Stop. Because those were things that you submitted to the judge. Now let's pull up a little bit of the body cam. Of that night, real quick, just to reference. Oh, whoops, this isn't Grayson. I got confused with my tabs. I got confused because it's the same shirt. Hold on, not that. That's not what I meant to pull up. Sorry. All right, so I've skipped ahead a little bit and let's just watch. Let's get a refresh of what really happened. Now, they painted this picture to the 9-hour stream as one way, and then they never expected people to actually do a FOIA request for the body cam of that night. So John says, call the cops and have them escort you out of the restaurant since you're afraid. They didn't do that. She calls the cops and walks out herself. And then Grayson comes stumbling out after all the lemon drops and pasta she finished.
Do it again. Hit us up, come down, arrest it for this new stop.
Okay.
Because it's a consistent something that they're doing.
Oh. Did you pay? Yeah. So he knows we're not dining and dash.
Did you pay?
Is it officer? Sergeant, forgive me. Sergeant Jacobson.
So Grayson pays in their relationship. How nice.
And he's telling us sort of what to do. And wait, I do have to document. Like,
I don't know. Maybe I'm just jealous. Maybe I'm jealous of their friendship, right? I mean, I hope someday that I could have friendship that is as strong as Grayson's zipper on those pants. Maybe someday.
I have it on video in Arizona too, because she approached, I get so nervous around them. I just start recording, and they actually, the reason why they kicked them out is I had the video of me just walking in and them approaching me again. Yeah. And I said, please leave me alone. And then she came up and, you know.
And to be honest with you, like, that might, like, when was Arizona?
A month ago? It was 1 month ago. You know, it's all these, like, high-profile cases. The Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell case there. Or not Chad Daybell. Chad Daybell's here. You know, and then we come up here.
Thank you, Rosie.
We have to go back to Arizona. We have to go back to Arizona tomorrow. Because the Lori Vallow's been
following us states. Like, the thing
and you can say that these are public trials, but they're trial tourists. I do it for my work. I'm actually the breadwinner.
They're trial tourists. I actually do this for my work. Oh my gosh, Grayson. I'm sorry, but she deserves this. I'm sorry. People are going to be like, that was mean. Stop it. You've had too much to drink. This isn't a real distressed face. You're acting in front of the officer. It's pathetic. Remember, this is the second, and this isn't even to body shame her. It's just to pull yourself together. You look sloppy. Like you're drunk right now. And you're trying to act like, oh, I'm a victim. It's pathetic. Like both of them with their liquid courage to call the cops and be like, this is our second time. Yeah, because the first officer, how come they're not telling this officer that the first officer in June told them that, you know, there was no crime? So now they're in a different state with a different law enforcement agency, and they're trying to like pull one over on this officer too.
In my family with my husband, you know, I don't have a choice to go to these.
They were filming me today, like inside the courthouse and outside.
He's the breadwinner. she's the breadwinner. I don't know. That was like, when she said that, everyone's like, wait, what? I thought John was a doctor. Wait, the math is not mathing. Look at Lauren. She's like, come on, put on a show.
My face and just ignored it.
So yeah, so some of this is First Amendment stuff. Some of it is the harassment / stalking. And again, I know you don't have the harassment code. You have a stalking code, which is, as it's on your that it's.
Could I record this?
Sure, yeah, I'm recording too.
Okay. Yeah.
It's repeated incidents that cause concern, right? Where they're
My server who's taking care of them got one of their names. It's Amber Sumpter, Sumpter. Apparently she works for CNN.
No, that's not
One of those ladies.
No,
Okay.
not one of
It's
them.
one of like the five that were over there.
Oh, was she with them? She might have been with them, but that is not who has been following us and approaching us.
Okay.
Yeah, well, what was his name? But like, this was a witness too. Like, you saw him come to our team.
Yeah, there was a lady that came up.
I agree, Marty.
I don't know if it was really harassing, but more, just obviously being really uncomfortable.
And even the server's like, I don't know if it was really harassing, because it's not. Even the server who doesn't have a law degree or law enforcement background realizes, like, well, I don't know if it was harassing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're not going to play this whole thing. I just wanted to kind of reference, like, you guys didn't get escorted out like John suggested you do. Like, you weren't afraid. You're not afraid, or you don't feel threatened. Otherwise, you would have walked out here at least together. All right, couple more minutes of this 9-hour bullshit. Yikes.
Grayson. One other question. Well, we'll get to it. Later, the stalker does a TikTok tying herself to this event despite not being here in Boise. We'll get to that in a little bit. After hearing about everything, so I called dispatch 911. I called dispatch. I used to be a reporter in Boise too, by the way. I know how it works. And then, I just said, hey, it's just weird.
What does being a reporter in Boise have anything to do with you calling the non-emergency line? It's like she just throws things out there, like, for what? You want people to be like, oh, she must be telling the truth because she used to be a reporter there.
Just nervous. We were just looking for an escort to our vehicle. And as we walked, and I have the whole thing recorded with Officer Jacobs, because I actually say that respectfully. I say, hey, I know you have body cam footage. Can I also record from my end? And he says, absolutely. So I have the whole entire encounter with Officer Jacobs. That, don't worry, we won't play it here, but we have so much to go over. But after hearing about everything, Officer Jacob calls the on-call process.
So did she just say we won't play it here because we have so much to go over? Like, is she referencing the body cam of like them calling then? Hold on, I gotta rewind that. Oh no, not that far.
So one other question. Well, we'll get to it. Later, the stalker does a TikTok tying herself to this event despite not being here in Boise. We'll get to that in a little bit. After hearing about every
crap, did I miss it trying to rewind? But that's what she was saying, right? They had too much to go through, so she couldn't pull up the body cam or what the officer had said. And here, she just tells everybody that the quote unquote stalker wasn't even there. So why are you showing us this video of Grayson wasted? Smoke and mirrors. Right. And you didn't record. Yes. So she was talking about that. Yeah. You didn't record the whole thing because we saw so much lies. Yeah, she can't play it because she knows how it ends. And it ended with the cop being like, yeah, sorry. Remember he calls like the on-call district attorney or whatever, wasted his time and like gave him this situation. And he's like, yeah, that's not illegal. Or there's nothing that we can do. And then had Lauren and Grayson fill out the paperwork themselves. Total waste of time. No, John wasn't there for the 9 hour. It seemed she wanted to manipulate this whole thing without John there. And then when it backfired, John was like, let me handle this. And they did a response video. Every frozen face is like, oof. And again, sometimes that's why I go off camera, because I can't even stand to see my own face, like if I pause it, or if like the Wi-Fi like freezes me or something. But yeah, it's never a good look for Lauren.
Everything, Susu. I called dispatch 911. I called dispatch. I used to be a reporter in Boise too, by the way. I know how it works. And then, I just said, hey, it's just weird. I'm just nervous. We were just looking for an escort to our vehicle. And as we walked, and I have the whole thing recorded with Officer Jacobs, because I actually say that respectfully. I say, hey, I know you have body cam footage. Can I also record from my end? And he says, absolutely. So I have the whole entire encounter.
That's not
Officer
even
Jacobs,
what happened.
don't worry.
That's not even what was. She didn't say, hey, I know you got a body cam, but I'm going to record on my end. You said, can I record? And he said, yeah, no problem. I'm recording too. Like, why do you have to lie about the littlest details? That's weird. And I know people do that sometimes, like when they're recapping a story, like things will be off a little bit, but like, she's just a liar.
We won't play it here. We have so much to go over.
And how convenient. You won't play it here. You have so much to go over. So see, that is something that her chat didn't catch on to, I don't think. Like, you just said you recorded this whole thing with law enforcement. Like, wouldn't that be something that you wanted to include in this live stream? Oh, well, because the law enforcement didn't agree with what you guys are trying to pull, so you don't want to share it in the 9 hour. Got it.
But after hearing about everything, Officer Jacob called the on-call prosecutor and took a report for stalking. And I have the stalking number here. And I point out in this declaration that the report will reflect that we had no idea that this group had eaten dinner at the same restaurant that evening, because they all said on their end that, we knew that we must have known they were eating inside, that we picked this restaurant on purpose, that we sat by the exit. Actually, no, Lindsay walked directly out. They actually had to turn out of the exit to see, they didn't need to wait. The door was actually on the other side, and they certainly didn't need to come to our table. Some of their group did not. And that Janice was filming outside. So it was, but it reflects that we had no idea that this group had eaten dinner at the same restaurant that evening. The waiter explained to us and the officer that they had been.
Her vocal cry. I can't. Like, is anyone else just like cringed at her vocal like fry? Not cry. I guess I want to cry hearing her vocal fry. And I know that I don't have the sweetest, nicest voice either, but like, I don't know. I don't know if it's because we've been listening to her for an hour and 18 minutes, but it's like, it's starting to be like nails on a chalkboard to me.
Eating inside. We never went inside, so we were simply unaware that they were there. However, after that incident, my stalker made a social media video about the incident, claiming that her and her friends were defending Lindsay, my ex.
Absolutely, Christina. Her fake emotions were a smokescreen. People didn't hear her words. You're right. They felt the feelings she wanted them to. They had an emotional reaction. Remove the emotions, and nothing she says makes sense. Exactly. Which is what's so imperative that like people break this down, because the sham, the utter sham that is being displayed here is like criminal. Like, this is defamation. Imagine, oh my gosh. I mean, professionals seeing this, like looking at this from a legal standpoint. Like, you just drag somebody for 9 hours in an unhinged live stream with no evidence to support your claims that she was stalking you. It's just like unbelievable. I always hear that people cannot make it through this 9-hour live, LOL. I watched it several times because I find it so amusing. It is like a entertaining train wreck. That's why we've decided to go through this on Saturday nights. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, I've been going through the Epstein stuff. I've been going through the Nancy Guthrie case, and all of those topics are very mentally taxing and stressful and draining. So Saturday nights, we've decided, like, you know what? I want to hang out, but I can't do true crime every day, right? So during the week, community posts, shorts, and videos. Weekends, we stream, but Saturday is designated to, like, let's decompress from everything that we've kind of been covering. And I agree. This is literally like, and we have to do it in bits and pieces. But this is entertaining because it's such horseshit. And I hope, like, you don't take it as an insult that her dragging you, Christina, is entertaining to us, because that's not where I'm getting at. I think it's entertaining just the way that we can debunk her and call out her lies and hypocrisy and her nonsense. It's just unbelievable. That's not a good look in her eyes. Johnny. Yes, I know. It's like all I can hear now too. Just checking your guys' stuff. Yeah, that train wreck has sailed and sank. That train wreck sank. The thing is, I've only been sharing, like, other people's streams covering it because it's just so dark that I can't sit for an hour, however long I stream, and, like, talk about it. So I've tried to support, Melly and Jay Warren, my moderators who are covering it. And I share a lot of it to my true crime Facebook group because it's so horrendous. Like, it's hard to even, like, talk about. It's like I read the stuff about the Epstein stuff, and in my head, I'm just trying to process what exactly I just read. So I needed this live stream because of all the reading and stuff that we've been doing. Yes, Melly on her channel, she's covering them in depth. They have tried to, bury it in the algorithms. And I give Law and Crime props because they are one of the only major channels out there that are highlighting it, that have a platform. Like, has Court TV done any Epstein stuff?
Producer who did indeed receive a cease and desist from me months earlier. And in that video posted on August 8th, my stalker used an audio clip of me from a recent interview I did on July 27th, 2025.
Yeah, why is
Thank you, Difficult Research, for being here. Love you, Kresha. Thank you. The exhibit is Exhibit 17.
What that abuser.
And didn't that age not very well too? Love you, Kresha. Thank you. But I'm going to put a copyright strike on your channel when you criticized me after all this. So I guess we see how deep Lauren's love for people run. And hello, JST. Good to see you. Okay, couple more minutes, guys. I can only bear so much.
Will often create problems to get a reaction so that you look like the problem.
She sent my friend, let's call her friend A cease and desist, and then walked right up to her to start talking. Friend A avoided her completely. They work in the same space, so overlap happens. But the rule friend A made was simple. If she talks to me, I will not speak to her back. One night, my friend, including friend A and others, are at a restaurant. They've been there for 2 hours. As they're about to wrap up their dinner and leave, ex-friend walks in and sits by the door with her assistant. It's a choose your own seating restaurant, and she chose to sit by the exit. A friend of mine, let's call her friend B, walks out of the bathroom and sees ex-friend and says to her, do not talk to friend A. You sent her a cease and desist, full of lies, by the way, and she does not want to talk to you. Friend B then walks away. Of course, ex-friend is like, oh, she can fight her own battles. Well, duh, she can fight her own battles, but you sent her freaking cease and desist full of untrue claims. So you're making others fight her battle. Okay? Okay. Hours later, my ex-friend goes to the police claiming my friend's.
Hours later, and how many lemon drop martinis deep? Then they got the balls to call police and be like, oh, and put on this whole charade. And the cop was like, nah, not buying this.
Were stalking her, even though my friends had been at that restaurant first. For multiple hours had been at that restaurant first. It's like calling 911 on someone for being in the same room you just walked into. That's how unhinged this ex-friend is.
And none of that is lies. All of that is just truth. It is what it is. That's exactly what happened. And how is Lauren going to spin it?
So, in other words, the stalker ties herself to a group bullying campaign, whether or not.
How is that a bullying campaign? To say, don't talk to somebody in person that you put a cease and desist on. How is that a bullying campaign? Unreal.
She was in town. She is letting me know that the reason they are doing this is because I sent their friend who was employed by me. I paid a lot of money to a cease and desist for something that has nothing to do with them. And that they're now going to, I guess, harass me and that I deserve it. I don't know. We called the police for an escort to our vehicle, and rightfully so. And again, the fact that they said, stop acting like nothing's wrong. I don't. And thank you to the person who said, stop saying, I don't know what I did. Start saying, I did nothing. I have not done anything. Thank you for correcting me on that. When stalking happens, you start to doubt yourself. Trust me.
You've been doubting yourself for a very long time because you are an insecure woman.
I sat in tears going, what have I done? And like, whoa, am I missing something?
Oh, yes. You're
Nobody
missing a lot.
Has ever been able to.
What a loaded question. Am I missing something? I mean, we could make a list. Integrity, morals, ethics, judging by this, some sex appeal. I don't know. I can't take it anymore, guys. I literally can't take her anymore. Right. Eat your own words, honey. Oh my gosh. Wow. Willfully missing something, Lauren. Oh my gosh. She claims that she's a victim of stalking.
To determine that was a lie.
I can't. Grayson claims that This is how people get murdered.
So shut up, bitch! Oh my God!
Oh no, I'm gonna get a stalking injunction or whatever put on me for that one. But it's just, I can't even. She's missing eyebrow stencils. Oh my gosh, I can't even. It's too much. And to think this went on for 9 hours. 9 hours of manipulation. That's what we'll have to name the next one. The next deep dive next Saturday into this. Lauren Matthias, 9 hours of emotional manipulation. Supposedly they're building a new house. Please, please move farther away. Well, good for them. Good for them. It's probably one of the most cold houses we've ever probably could imagine. Yeah, come hang out with us next weekend, Christina. We all love having you here. We're all here for you. You know, I hope that at least out of this horrendous ordeal, you will feel like at least I've gained like online friendships, right? I mean, we are all a community here and we're happy to have you. And Lauren actually has made me come across a lot of you guys just from going through her stream. I mean, Felicia, Mindy, Caroline's been here for so long. Yeah, harder to change her look if those were tattooed on. That's true. She couldn't rebrand herself if those eyebrows were tatted on. So I guess she did something right. So yeah, we're all, you know, here for this 9-hour chaos to debunk every claim that she has made against you, Christina. So join us next Saturday for that. Tomorrow night, like I'm hoping that we can go live on updates on Nancy Guthrie, but the way that this case is headed, I don't know if by tomorrow night we're going to have any more news to report. And I hope I'm wrong. Like I hope tomorrow I can make a stream and we can talk tomorrow night about how they found her, that how they've arrested somebody. Like that is what I really am hoping for. If not, like, I don't know, maybe we'll start doing our Sunday night Watts deep dive again, because if there's nothing new in developments for Nancy's case, we're going to have to go back to our regular form of deep dives, which were Sunday night Chris Watts deep dives. So I don't know, stand by for that. Although News Nation, I think they were doing a special tonight where they were taking questions about the Nancy Guthrie case. I don't know. I'll have to check Brian Enton's stuff again. It was something I had seen. So maybe we could recap that. Maybe something interesting will come out in that they aired tonight. Hella, how are you? If you guys haven't seen Hella's stream that she did, I think it was yesterday on their date night, go to Excited Utterance and watch it. It's from their Patreon. They're actually charging people for that material and content, and I can't believe people are stupid enough to pay for it. That was just so hilarious, the way that you and Dolly break it down as usual. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I actually, you know, Hella is another person that I don't know, like maybe we would have crossed paths because I know that you followed the Alex Murdaugh case. I did as well. Like we might have crossed paths if it wasn't for Lauren, but you're another person that like we've actually made like a connection. She's all the way in Australia too, guys, because of Lauren's shenanigans. So I guess there's many blessings in disguise when it comes to this 9-hour stream of bullshit. Any creators or other lovely, insightful people interested in the Richin stuff, I will be doing a panels most night to react to the day's stuff. Oh, that's awesome. I think I heard you talking about that live. Okay, yeah, anyone who is following, um oh, it was? See, I followed Delphi before the trial, and then when the trial came, I was in maternity leave and wasn't streaming, but I was, like, moderating for other channels that were covering it, and I didn't get a chance to cross paths with Hella until after Delphi too. So it's funny how, like, we've covered and dug into some of the same topics, and somehow I guess it makes sense because if we're covering some of this same topics, I guess it makes sense that we would see Lauren for who she is and be like, whoa, 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 this needs to be highlighted and exposed. So I guess it all makes sense that we've all crossed paths somehow. But yeah, hit up Hella if you want to talk the Richens case. So that case I've also done a little research on, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm up to speed enough to join your panel, but there probably is other people in this chat that are digging into it much deeper. So that would be exciting. Oh, Melly, you should hit up Hella. That would be cool to see you on the panel for that too. Yeah, people are excited for the trial. That case is very interesting. She's accused of killing her husband with a fentanyl overdose. And then she wrote a kid's book about how to handle grief with children. So it's kind of like, it's not your regular, like, wife kills husband. Like, there's an element of like, wait, what? Like, she went on mainstream media to promote the book and stuff. And then she ends up getting like investigated and they're like, wait, so that's an interesting one. I have my opinions on that case, but I don't want to say them because I haven't done any like updated research. So the opinion that I have is based off of like initial reporting of it, which happened like years ago at this point. So I need to kind of dig more into it for sure before I can comment on it further, but I hereby send good vibes to anybody who finds ways to bail out on Adobe's ripoff cloud-based system. Oh my gosh. Yeah, another class act, Corey Richens. It's interesting. But okay, guys, I appreciate you guys being here. I'm exhausted. Like I said, it's been quite the week of research and mental gymnastics following Nancy Guthrie shenanigans. And then the Epstein stuff has just been taking a toll out of a lot of people. And I really needed this live stream to decompress from real serious crimes because Lauren Matthias was not stalked. She was not in fear of her life. The body cam and the behind the scene messages that have come out and been exposed on her have shown that. And I still feel the same way I did when we started this 9 hour. Now we're almost 3 hours in, which, oh my God, it's sickening to think we're not even halfway through and we can see through the BS. Wow. But yeah, good night, everybody. I appreciate you guys all being here. Hit up Hella if you want to talk the Corey Richens case. There's a lot of missing people out there that need attention. And I hope that we can get some answers in a lot of these cases. So I've shared the case that Alex Erickson did a live stream on. It's a missing toddler. Oh my gosh, I hate how I can't even remember her name. Hold on, let me pull it up. Genesis Nova Reed. She's a missing toddler and she is barely getting any coverage because of the Nancy Guthrie case. And it's just, let me pull this up. So this is Alex Erickson's channel. She just went live on it a couple hours ago. I shared it to my community post. So if you can take a minute, like the stream, because even liking a stream can push the story out into the algorithm. This little girl needs her story shared more. So if you guys could just take a minute and do that, it's greatly appreciated. But yeah, I appreciate you guys all being here. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow night. Maybe we'll get some good news, hopefully. But till then, bye guys.